What's
Yeah,
up,
man.
guys? How's it going? So, we got another Lurr Lounge podcast going. We have not done one of these in like a hot minute. It's definitely the first one of the year, I'm pretty sure. Or did we do one in 2023? Does anyone remember?
Unless you did it with different people. I don't remember
No.
being invited for
I-
any of them. So
No. I definitely have not. I'm pretty sure, Ramen, you have been in all of them.
wait, really?
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
them?
Yeah, you've been in all of them. But yeah, so we're going to talk about stuff. I think a pretty big topic is who is the current number one ranked player in the world, because I'm pretty sure Alt Rank is gonna be bringing, or is gonna be creating a ranking soon, right? I actually don't even know when the end date for the events are. I don't know what the cutoff date is.
I don't even know. I don't even keep up anymore, honestly. I know there's like Ether rank, which gets updated like weekly or like bi-weekly. But Ult rank, I don't know, actually. Like before it was easier because there's one like ranking, like the PGR, and everybody kept up with that. But now there's like Orion rank, and then Ether rank, and then Ult rank, and then so many other that I stopped keeping up, honestly.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm talking about Alt Rank, because that's supposed to be like the successor to the PGR. No, the successor to the PGR.
Oh, the PGR. Okay.
Like the people who are behind the PGR are also behind Alt Rank, or like at least a good number of those people are. It's interesting because I think we could all say, like, without any question, this is the first ranking where MKLeo is not number one. Which, like, I know people are giving him shit for, like, oh, like he's washed or girlfriend or some shit like that, but I don't even. I think he's like, people are just getting really good, and
I think a little bit of both, honestly. I wouldn't say he's washed. I'm just saying he's more busy. Like he's not practicing as much.
He's definitely not playing as like it's not like year one Leo. But then I feel like most people aren't their year one selves, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. It's especially for him, if you compete for that long, especially if you're on top for that long, it's like, how long are you going to be motivated to be the best like every year of your life, basically? It's like not as easy as people think. It's hard to find that motivation to practice all the time, especially for someone like Leo, you know? Like, he's getting older. He's probably trying to do different things right now as well in his life. I think it's still impressive for him being as good as he is, honestly.
Dude, I think what he's done is an anomaly, because it's like, I feel like his level of consistency in Ultimate is like Armada-esque in like Armada-esque in Melee, that's crazy. If people don't understand how consistent Armada was in Melee, that dude did not get lower than like fourth or fifth. He didn't lose to anyone outside of the top 10 or something for like over 4 years.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Like it's really it's crazy sometimes, because just the way that we experience time, right? We're like just day in and day out, right? So everyone just goes kind of day to day, and they don't really think about it, right? But if you like really step back and really look at what has taken place, it's just like, damn, man, this guy has really, like, this is like unprecedented stuff. And the thing that is like, I know for some people this may be like a hot take, but like even that concept, but because of Ultimate and because of the general scope, because of the install base it has, because of the Nintendo Switch, the accessibility, it's the modern game, all these kind of things, for him to do something like that in this time period is actually insane, right? Like, obviously, I'm not trying to diminish anything that Armada has done. Armada, like what he was able to do in that time, is like crazy. But like, I think with a game that has the install base that it does here, and for him to do that with so many players, and with a game that has, like, in comparison, to me is more balanced, right? Like, and like, it's just like you have all these characters as well too, which means you have much more people who may be playing all these other characters who are actually viable threats, and he still was able to like maintain that level of consistency. That's freaking wild.
Yeah, no, that's insane. Yeah, and also just to add on top of what you're saying with the character diversity, there's so many matchups you need to know, and a lot of people, like, there's so many people, I'm sure, like we've all been there, especially in Ultimate, where you lost because you have no idea how to fight this character.
Oh, you just get robbed. Yeah. Playing Ultimate, sometimes you're in the alleyway, man, and you get robbed. 100%.
I want to bring up something with Ramen, but I don't know if it's too soon.
Oh, is it Piranha Plant?
Yeah.
Dude, I told you about that set, right? I got my shield broken at like 20 or 30. By charge B. I don't even know what that move's called. I remember the first time I lost to Me Gunner in this game, and I hadn't fought against Me Gunner. It was like the first year of Ultimate. And you know how Me Gunner has that one move that's like +6 or something, or +3 on Bach?
The grenade.
Yeah, the grenade.
Yeah.
Like, imagine not knowing about that move, and you just fight against the Me Gunner, and you just like approach his shield. you're like, hey, why can't I like do anything? Like I'm just shielding.
and you just get bombed.
I can't do anything. I just get the guaranteed grab.
Yeah.
There's like so many little things like that in Ultimate you just have to know about. And if you don't, then you better pray that your character has enough, like his game plan is solid enough for you to like kind of get away with not knowing the matchup. But if you don't have such a character, then it's gonna get a lot harder.
Or you adapt super hard. Yeah. The thing is,
I don't even adapt super hard. Yeah.
I don't even think that Joker was that character. Like the characters he was using outside of Byleth, I think Byleth was the only character where it's like they could super BS you, but I feel like I guess Joker can too. But I feel like with like Lucina, Ike, Joker, when you like have that level of dominance, they're not characters that are not susceptible to being matchup checked. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that. Like, I mean, I do think there are certain things though, like when you look at Joker, right? Like I feel like there's certain things that he can do where like obviously Arsene, when you can just blow back people and you just have the level of like reading that he does, like I think there's like some times where it's like, all right, well, I can just get this fool out of here now, right? And I don't have to sit and nickel and dime and stuff like that, right? As opposed to like a Sheik, right? Where you constantly have to deal with those things all throughout, right? I do agree with you. Like freaking like Byleth is one that's like, okay, even like he was having trouble with some characters like Edge Guardian, like, oh no, let me just skip all of that, right? Let me just freaking use my tether and like be like come back in and I'm good, right? But like, yeah, for the most part, like his dominance has been with characters that like were a lot more nuanced. Like Joker's definitely a character where it's like it's not just I'm just gonna play this game plan and then that's it, and I just destroy you because I just get to play my game and you're just stuck in it no matter what character you are. Like no, it was a bit more nuanced, and so for him to actually excel at that level with those kind of characters too was pretty sick.
Yeah, I agree, and then also the fact that he was just able to seamlessly switch characters. That's crazy because normally when someone's so dominant, they do it with like one or two characters, but he was literally using multiple characters and just getting the same result. Like people are going to just go back and then actually look at what he did, and it's like, oh, wow, it's actually crazy. And I think
give it up, man.
Yeah, you have to. And then I think the other big thing is I feel like a lot of people, when they're as dominant as they are, they're not willing to like travel and like stick their neck out like that, like in risk of it, getting their head chopped off. Too. And he was totally fine with traveling. He would go to different countries, just like test stuff out. I think he is probably one of the best players we could have had in Ultimate.
I was gonna say, like, I think out of all like the best players of each game, my favorite ones are probably Armada and Leo, because they both traveled the world a lot, and like they weren't afraid of like going outside their comfort zone to like prove to everybody that they are the best regardless of where they compete. And let's not forget, Leo, it's not like Leo was just the best player in Ultimate. He was also the best player in Smash 4 for like the last 2 years.
Yeah, the very
3 years or something.
So the last year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So like the last 2 years from Smash 4, and then the first 3 to 4 years in Ultimate, it's been like he's been on top of his game, like up top of like everybody basically for like 6 years almost, which is crazy if you think about. Yeah. And then the moment he doesn't like place, he gets like 9th or 7th instead of like first or second.
Yeah, that's washed for him.
People call him like washed, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like this guy's been doing it for 6 years. Like, so what? He places like 1 or 2 placements lower at the 7th year. Like that shouldn't. That doesn't mean he's washed. You guys are like stupid.
That just shows his level of consistency and like the expectations that are put on him.
Yeah, it's funny because I always think about like, because obviously the NBA Finals just recently ended, right? But I always think of just like Michael Jordan, right? And everyone, like when people talk about sports, about the GOAT, like obviously he's one that instantly comes to mind. And it's like, dude, even Michael Jordan has been freaking just jammed and knocked out into for like round 1 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like even that has happened for him. And it's like crazy where we essentially get upset at Leo because he didn't make it back. Like he didn't make it past like Eastern Conference Finals or something. It's like, how dare you? You only get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're not in the NBA Finals, just winning every single one. Oh, you must be trash. It was just like crazy to me that he's playing at such a consistent high level. Ramen, to your point, traveling so often, willing to choose different characters, right? Dude, this guy was freaking playing Corn one day. Next minute, I look around, I freaking see like MSM0. This dude's playing freaking Rob. Like, he was doing it all. All of a sudden, like, oh yeah, you know what? I got a little Kazuya too. Like he's like, I love playing Kazuya. Like it's just funny to see the depth in his like skill set. And But yeah, it's definitely an interesting time, right? To go back to kind of what you were talking about, it's definitely a change of the guard, like so to speak. Like, obviously, Leo is not out of it, but it's more so of like we do have some people now who are there, who are challengers, who are will be the next best player, and now he's got something to prove in that kind of avenue, you know. So that is a very interesting thing for us after seeing such dominance. And I know he's probably going to continue to dominate the game regardless, right? But he's for that top spot. He's got some challengers for sure.
Dude, I just feel like the next big event he goes to, if he wins, he's like, yeah, I just got to show you guys I'm still the best. He's like, you guys
done that a couple times.
He's like, you guys been around too much, about to find out.
Yeah,
I think of Leo's like smarter with his character picks. Like, I feel like he should always go Joker against Sparkle's Cloud. Like, why would you not go Joker instead of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Joker just I feel like his character choices are odd sometimes.
I've said this in so many watch parties that like he's counterpicking himself.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't even think he needs to drop any of his like 3 characters, like
Exactly.
Joker, Aegis, or Byleth. He just needs to like play them according to like the matchup, basically. I feel like he should go Byleth against like most high level players, like hide the top, but then the very top, then he should switch between Joker and Aegis a little bit more.
All right, Ramen. I've said something very similar. Like literally that same thing, because Byleth is a matchup check, right? Like Byleth is the character that if you play them, if you don't know what to do, and he already has like a somewhat decent understanding of what you're going to do,
you just lose.
He's going to kill you at 50.
Yep, you explode.
Yeah, don't know how to deal with his nair, or like DIOA on his down throw in time, or like his up B shenanigans. And you're gonna get gimmicked.
Get hit with freaking charge forward smash at the ledge. He's done to 1 billion people, like all top caliber, just getting hit by up angled forward smash for whatever reason.
Yeah,
it's like there's like so many different things, right? Like that character, it's so funny, dude. That character just blows people back. I just remember back in the day, though, people didn't give Byleth enough respect as a character, right? Everyone was just like, "Oh my god, look at him go!" It is like this character is a robber, though. That character is definitely a robber.
Yeah,
I mean that's Ultimate in general, though. It's like, okay, my favorite thing is Smash 4 when Clouds first got released. Everyone was saying that Cloud's mid tier because the recovery's trash.
Oh yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah, I'm just like
my favorite thing is when this game came out and people were saying Game Watch is the worst character in the game.
Oh dude, I used to get so mad.
That was so
mad
funny.
About that.
It was so funny. That character's broken. Like I'm not gonna go down this road again, Larry. Don't worry.
You're not gonna do what you always say?
Game Watch is so stupid, guys. You don't know. You don't realize how stupid he is yet.
Nah, Robin, go off, bro. Go off, because I am of the same mindset, man. I am of the same mindset.
Literally plays the game for you. All right, neutral. What do you think he's gonna do in neutral? There's only 2 things he's gonna do. He's gonna either nair or up B out of shield. Oh, actually 3 things. Or forward air. That's all he's gonna do. There's nothing else. And then let's trapping. How is he gonna let's trap, guys? Oh, I know. He's just gonna press B. He's just gonna press 1 button from this distance. Now he's like top 10 let's trapper in the game just because he's pressing B. And what about advantage state? Oh, Larry, let me ask you something. What do you think Game Watch is gonna do when he's in advantage state? Like, what are all the different options he has to keep somebody in disadvantage?
He's gonna nair. He's gonna up air. He's gonna catch your landing or grab or dash attack.
No, he's just gonna up air. That's all he's gonna do. He's just gonna spam up air because up air is like one of the best juggle tools in the game, and nobody talks about it for some reason. Okay, anyway, you guys get the point. Game Watch, best pocket character in the game.
Free.
Yeah.
Free. Me and Charles have been talking about that. Like we did. I just always remember when I was talking to a couple of Game and Watch mains that I would like coach sometimes, and they were like asking me like, "Oh, dude, everyone's saying that Game and Watch is bad now. Oh man, like, dude, this character sucks." I'm like, okay, so can you tell me why he sucks? Do you juggle? Oh yeah, it's pretty easy, huh? Oh yeah. Okay. Hey, do you ledge trap? Yeah, you just okay. So you covered that too. You know, in this game, right? It's crazy. The shield changes, right? Like, oh yeah. I'm like, but you have a shield though, right? Oh yeah. I'm out of shield. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? This character's busted. This character's a menace.
Well, that's the thing. They say like he loses to sword characters, but like I don't know. His edge guarding is so good.
His edge guarding is very good.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter. Like even if you guys watch like what's his name, Mia versus Shuton. Like he'll just like edge guard shootons like Aegis over and over with reverse up B like whenever he recovers, and there's literally nothing he can do a lot of times. And I don't know. I just think the character is so good for how little you have to like be good with him. You know what I mean? Like if you get one nair, you get like 4 nairs for free, and that's like 40 damage plus Bees and like advantage state. And then like I said, his trapping's free too. Like I don't care about characters being good. Like I don't care if your character's like Joker or like Aegis, you know, because they're at least a little bit hard to play. But like Game Watch, oh my god, I can't.
Ease of use is pretty ridiculous, for sure.
But the problem is nobody knows yet. It's like I feel like I'm crazy when I talk about this. But
I think more people are on that bandwagon now. I definitely agree with you. Back in the day, it was pretty wild how people would talk about this character. But I think that people saw it with Meister, and then people started watching Mia, and so people slowly but surely started to recognize like, hey, okay, this character's pretty strong. But yeah, back in the day, people were talking like this character was freaking some bottom tier, didn't know what they were doing, and I was like, dude, this is actually a crime. Yeah. I don't know what is happening here.
All I'm gonna say is year one of Ultimate. I literally made a video saying that Game Watch is the best counterpick character in the game.
Wait, really?
I'll link you the video. I said it literally.
I believe you, but damn, that's crazy.
No, I believe it. I was so mad about people. I don't even want to get started. I was so angry about how people thought Game Watch was bad.
But yeah, the other thing I'll say is Ramen has been saying that like literally at Battle of BC. He said it to me like 10 times. He would not stop, and I'm just like, dude, I get it. You don't have to.
Hey,
Ramen's a passionate guy, man. When he's on it, dude.
The thing is, I don't even care about like Steve anymore, or, like Kazuya or some. Like I don't care about any of those characters. I just hate Game Watch for some reason.
Dude, but I already knew. That's the thing. He's like he's preaching to the choir, man. I knew Game Watch was good.
Oh, he just gotta tell you again, dude.
Like the thing is, like, Steve is stupid, but enough people complain about Steve, so I feel like I don't have to. Like nobody complains about Game Watch. So
the Ramen's just so used to people like disagreeing, so he just feels like he just has to tell you multiple times. He doesn't believe that you believe, dude.
Dude, he's like aggressively like talking to him, like, yeah, I agree. He's like, but you don't get it. I'm like, I do, bro.
He's like, no, you don't understand.
You don't truly understand yet.
And then like 20 minutes later, he'd do the same thing. He's like, oh man, no one knows this, but Game Watch is top 5. I talked to Mia, he thinks that. I talked to Shuton, he thinks that too. There's a lot of players in Japan that think Game Watch is top 5.
They do. A lot of them.
Bro, I know, you said it so many times. You said it so many times.
I'm letting everybody else know.
Enough, dude. He said, stop telling me this.
All right, I'll stop talking about Game Watch.
But speaking of Game Watch, you inspired me to play him, so I've been playing him more.
Dude, this is like Larry's thing. Every like 2 to 3 months, he's like, "Oh, I played this character now," and then he'll play him on stream for like 4 days, and then he'll never touch that character again, ever again. Yeah. And this time is Game Watch. What happened to your Sheik, Larry?
My Game Watch is hot though.
What happened to your Sheik?
I was playing Game & Watch. Okay, you can ask Void this. I swear you can ask Void this. I helped Void practice against Zachary.
Oh, okay.
So I used Game & Watch and helped him like grind out the matchup.
How was that?
He beat him. That was that Frostbite.
I thought you meant recently. You practiced with him recently. Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't even know you played Game Watch back then.
Yeah.
No, I remember which set you're talking about now. And was that Summit?
No.
Frostbite, you
Frostbite.
Said? Wasn't it Summit? No, he beats Meister at Summit. That's what it was, yeah.
But he beat Zachary's Game Watch game 1 and he switched to Rob.
I remember that, actually.
Yeah. That was a great set.
But yeah, it's not like a random character I picked up. I actually play him. And my Sheik, anyone can play Sheik. That character's easy.
That's not true. That's cat.
And anyone can play Sheik.
Anyone can play Sheik against bad players, yeah.
You just spare, you throw your little needles, and bam, you're gone.
What happened to Ben?
Yeah, speaking of, I am gone. Hold on.
You vanished.
You definitely vanished.
I'm lost in time.
But yeah, let's actually talk about who. Okay, so who do you guys think is the best player? Because like we said, it's definitely not
probably Spargo.
Player. Okay, yeah.
I mean, is it Spargo or what's his name? Collard.
Yeah. I agree. It's definitely between them. I feel
who else would it be?
Yeah, I feel like it should be Spargo, but I think because of the events because Akola's been going to a lot of events and he's been winning them, especially in Japan. So I feel like that could sway him to be number 1.
Yeah, Spargo has the head-to-head though.
He does have the head-to-head. He has the head-to-head.
I've seen head-to-head.
And he has like the tournaments. He's won Battle of BC, which was a huge event to win. I feel like that was the one that like pushed him over to be number 1. But then also Kagaribi was also a really big win.
Really, and Battle BC both are huge.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think a lot of people were already kind of talking about how that's going to really be what dictates what changes, right? Like who's going to be number one.
When does the season end?
Dude, that's what I just asked earlier. I don't know what I don't know what it is. I feel like it should end in June, right? That would make the most sense. And then like you start.
I have no idea
because it's like semi-annual. Oh, someone's saying it ends at Gommel. If that's true, then
okay.
It's kind of long though, because January.
That's a while.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like,
but the season started like 6 months ago or 7 months ago.
Didn't the season start in January?
Well, it's probably gonna be Spargo or Akola. I don't think it's gonna be anybody else, right?
Those are the only two. I feel like
it's Spargo, man.
Yeah,
Spargo.
I feel like
it's Spargo. Yeah.
Tweak had a really good shot because he was like pretty consistent. I think at the very least he'll be third.
I think Shuton and Tweak had really good seasons.
Yeah.
And then Light had a good early season, I think.
The thing about Light is that he didn't go in anything. Like, he did well. He just wasn't at many events.
And then
I'd love to see Light just be at more events, man. There's so many matchups I feel like that haven't really been seen by him because he seldom is like going out there. But when he goes out there, he always plays fairly well. And then
I love watching Light. Light in top 8 is just a blessing, bro.
It is a spectator's blessing, 100%.
I'm just like so tired of watching all these other characters, and then Light comes on, and I'm just like, yes, finally I can like watch a character I actually enjoy watching. It's also why I miss Cola in all these top 8s, because I love watching Cola.
I love watching Cola too, but I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was very upset
that like,
dude, that was a bitch move, bro. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, when he got
dropped out,
DQ'd himself.
Yeah, he just dropped out after he lost the Sonics, right? He just quit,
bro. Yeah, and that's like, dude, that's your region, man. That's your region. I mean, I guess you don't give a. I mean, it is what it is, you know. But like,
you can't force yourself sometimes.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, but obviously, like
I get it though. It's his region. You know, people are. People are probably like disappointed by it because they're trying to cheer for him, but at the same time,
I was disappointed. But I also understand there's life. There's so many other factors. There's so many things, right, that can propel someone to feel that way.
Have you seen how Sonics plays?
I have. Hey,
I love Sonics. But he's a great player.
I'm a
really nice guy. I like the guy a lot.
How Sonic plays. I love how he
hate watching Sonic.
You forgot I'm a Sonic.
Sonics. Just Sonic
I'm
in general.
I'm a Sonic man at heart, man. I feel like you forgot, man.
I think it just depends on who he plays
I remember.
I think it just depends on who he plays against. Because like
definitely.
I feel like in most matchups he's fine, but like him versus Didi was definitely that was the worst.
That was the worst I've seen. It's not even Sonic, dude. It's not even Sonic specifically. Just Sonic in general. I don't like watching. I know Sonic takes skill though, so it's not like Game Watch where it's like this character's just free.
I thought you were gonna stop, bro.
Bring it back.
I just don't like watching Sonic. I don't even mind fighting Sonic that much.
Right. The way I see it is like obviously like like Sonic playing super defensive and like just leaning like staying back and doing like nothing. Yeah, that sucks. But I feel like seeing Sonic offensively to me.
When he has those moments,
it's gorgeous.
His advantage state is crazy. Amazing, his advantage state is actually insane.
His advantage state is so freaking fire. I love that. I mean, that's how I fell in love with the character. Even for me, one of the greatest things was seeing like starting from Brawl, seeing like 6WX playing that aggressive play style, which I always loved, and that's always like how I envisioned seeing the character, and then seeing Sonic like the same way and being able to talk with him about things too. Like, dude, I love it, man. That part I think is so beautiful with the character because the character can just be anywhere. He's so damn fast.
I definitely agree with that. Well, that's the beauty of it, and that's also why his defensive playstyle works so well because the moments he gets openings, he really makes them count, and then the lead's so huge in his favor. And like then the mental like battle is like even heavier against you, like stacked against you if you're fighting Sonics. Yeah. And he finds one up throw into 2 up air back airs, and now he has like advantage state and less trapping, and you're behind. Like the reason like all of it works out as well as it does for him is because he's an amazing player. So I can totally see that, and I appreciate those moments too. But it's definitely matchup dependent, like Larry said, and I totally understand like against a character like Steve. Like if I were Sonics, I would cap the shit out of Steve too.
Like, I mean, Didi capped himself too.
Yeah, they just both weren't approaching. I think that's what made it worse. It's like They both were just standing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that it sucks because there's definitely this stigma around Sonics, and I'm sure if you look at like the bracket and you look at what they put on stream, they literally will not put any of his matches on stream until they have to, like unless
that's fucked up.
That is messed up.
Yeah, like until it's like a qualifying set, they will not put any of his matches on stream. Like
that's messed up. Yeah, I don't like watching Sonic, but like if somebody gets that far in your tournament, like you have to just like hold that. You have to just like recognize that he's good enough to deserve a stream spot. Like I don't care if you don't like watching it or like streaming it. I don't care if I don't like watching it. Like he's earned that spot basically. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it.
No, I agree, man. Like I mean, I think there's things where it's like maybe like, obviously you want to put on the most hype matches as possible for the sake of the spectators, right? But it like I think when you're going to the idea where like someone is that they're a strong player, they've done the work, they've done the due diligence, they have consistently placed, and you're literally like taking out all these matches until you're like, damn, I literally have to. Like, man, they're in top 8 now. I guess I got to show them. That's messed up. I think if you're like prioritizing some other matches over his, sometimes I get that, but like when you're doing it to that degree that people do it to, like that is trash.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was gonna be my point actually. Like, if you make it so that people don't notice too much and it's like subtle and whatever, it's your tournament, it's fine. But if you cut him off completely until top 8, like that's just obviously fucked up. Like you can't look at it any other way.
Yeah, and if you think I'm joking about that, go to like a bunch of tournaments, look at their brackets, and then look at like the streams, because like now brackets will like show you what matches are on stream, right? You can literally like look it up, and a lot of the time they won't put him on stream until it's a top 8 qualifier.
I feel bad for Sonics, but I also hate watching Sonic. Like I'm so conflicted. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, okay.
I really feel bad for him.
I feel like that's the problem. Like, he's really entertaining to watch. He's actually one of my favorite players to watch because I think that Sonics is one of the most complete players in Ultimate. Like, he's just good at everything. He's good. He's so
consistent at everything.
Yeah, he's so good at everything. And then it's like,
and he works very, very hard. He's very, very diligent. And he like, dude, he's a guy.
He works super hard.
Oh, it's incredible. And just his work ethic. And he's just like, damn. All right, I gotta go back. Even too, like, because speaking kind of on Momocon, right? Even like with Light, right? Like Light is his demon. It's crazy because like pretty much anyone else in the world he put Sonics up against, you can't count him out. Literally anyone else in the world. And then Light is the one person who just like runs up on him, right? Finally got one win on him and stuff too, which is nice. But like Light, he's like, hey, Light brings out the best of me, man, because he just like he's so dominant. He just destroys me. He's like, I gotta be better. I got to sit back. What else can I do here? Okay, this stuff worked a little bit. All right. I utilize some of this. Now I got to go back. And I love that mentality of like consistently pushing forward. And he's grown so much in such a short period of time. And another thing I love is there's a lot of players these days, man. It's like it's a different world. It's a different time. And I think sometimes people get caught up. The social media stuff can be jarring. It can be a burden. It can be taxing for people. Also, the idea of like, how do I make stuff work? Do I do content? Do I do this or whatever? And so sometimes you get people like getting demotivated very easily. They get very down. They're like, hey, I'm going to take a break. I can't take this or whatever. But I really love his like, I'm going to go ahead and just grind and commit. And I'm going to toil and I'm going to labor until I get to where I need to go. That is very exemplary. So I love that mentality, man. Obviously, I already said I love the character and the way he plays and just like how he approaches all these facets of the game. But yeah, man, that guy is so damn good. And that guy is someone who I feel like it's only a matter of time because of his work ethic and because of his skill set and where he is at right now as well.
Something I want to say about like Light being his bracket demon, I've watched the sets and it's like, I feel like he just loses. It's not even like something catastrophic happens or like
it never is. Yeah, he just loses.
Like I've seen like what was it? I think one of the things I remember talking about in the Momocon set is that he would just do homing attack and it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, well that move is like weird.
Oh yeah, on the edge guard, right?
Yeah, he was homing attack and then he'd die or something. I'm like, oh well.
Honestly, like a lot of the sets Sonic loses, I feel like some stupid shit happens, or he SDs or like he'll homing attacks off stage. I've seen that a few times.
Yeah, so I'm like you're talking about him being his bracket team. I'm like, okay, well, I technically is, but like just watching
He
the
is,
sets,
but it's like it is. Yeah, I get what you
yeah,
mean.
it's not like
100% I get what you
anything
mean.
crazy or anything like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just he'll just lose for something. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than that.
Yeah, and Sonic is also like one of the most consistent players right now. Like in terms of consistency, my top 5 would be like Akola and Spargo, Shuton, Sonics, and then probably Tweak. Like in just in terms of consistency from last season.
Yeah, no, Tweak's been very, very consistent. I think minus Battle BC and Crown, he didn't get lower than 5th at the
Yeah,
that's crazy actually.
Yeah.
His mentality has just been so much better these days, and it feels like he's found his footing a bit better on his character selection. Sometimes it kind of felt like haphazard, but yeah, his mentality is there. He's committed. He's got these characters on deck. So it's been really nice to see Tweak play at that caliber, like consistently. Like once again, it's been dope.
Yeah, I definitely feel like regarding Tweak, in order for him to like get that extra step and like become number 1, he needs an answer for Akola because he doesn't seem like he has one. Like,
well, not many people do.
Yeah, like he's gotten close. He's gotten close multiple times, but
yeah,
Akola just like comes out on top.
It's a shame he doesn't like Cloud in this game, because if Tweak liked Cloud in this game, it'd be over. Tweak just play Cloud every day and practice Cloud, but I don't think he likes the character enough. Last time I talked to him, Cloud does pretty well against Steve from what I've seen. I feel like Sephiroth does well in theory, but it doesn't seem to be working out for him.
I don't think it's as big as people think it is, considering how light Sephiroth is. So, and like Steve's combo game in general, like you just get blown up. But yeah, I mean, Spargo's been making it work. I mean, it's gotten to a point where Akola doesn't even want to go Steve against him anymore.
Dude, that Kagurabi set was something, man. That was something, and it's a shame that everyone gave such a backlash and such a kind of like a vitriol against Akola after that set. And everyone's saying that, oh yeah, this guy's carried, this guy sucks, just a clown fest per usual, right? But dude,
so bad.
That was a rough one, man. He was just cycling through these characters. That being said, he should have had that win with DK.
Dude,
okay. That with DK though.
Okay, you know what's funny? I rewatched the set with him and or at least I rewatched the Battle BC sets. Right? He was playing DK like it was Smash 4 DK. Like he was doing a lot of things that just don't work with DK, or like he was just missing a lot of punishes. I think a big thing about it is that he's like afraid of Spargo in the sense that if Spargo makes a mistake, if it was anyone else, he would have hard punished him for it. But because it's Spargo, he just is not. He will just respect him so much.
He definitely respects the hell out of him, man. He'll hit him with the light taps because he just feels like, oh, but what if I'm wrong? He definitely has like a seed of doubt when it comes to Spargo right now. And Spargo's like, oh, lit. I can just slapping on this dude. This guy will hit me with a little hand slap and I just punch him in the mouth. Like, that's it. Like, yeah, that part is rough, man. Because especially if you're going to play DK, obviously, in that kind of circumstance, you gotta be hitting them hard, man. You can't hit them with a freaking pat on the back.
Yeah, DK is a character that, like, you have to not respect your opponent because they're definitely not going to respect you because you're DK. But yeah, I definitely like that rivalry. I'm actually really curious to see what happens the next time those two play. I'm also wondering, like, what is Tweak going to do with the Mega Man? Because that is a character he picked up, and yeah, I'm wondering where he takes him.
I don't know. I don't know if the Mega Man.
How do you guys feel about Mega Man? How do you feel about Mega Man?
It's weird. I've fought against like a really good Mega Man from Japan recently, but I don't know. That character is weird to me. It's hard for me to place Mega Man because he's so polarizing in some matchups, but then like in other matchups, I feel like maybe he struggles a little bit. Mm-hmm. But like Mega Man Snake, for example, that's like a pretty relevant top tier that Mega Man does really good against.
Joker as well.
These wins. What about Steve?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if he does well against Steve, but if I were to guess, I feel like Mega Man just fits what Tweak wants to do because Mega Man is a character that requires like a good amount of time that you need to invest in the character because he has so much like different things he can do, and then plus the item play. You know, Tweak's main is Diddy, and Tweak is really, really precise with his item play, and that's also another character that has that. And he has
Just
like a lot of
long
crazy
mileage out of it.
combos and confirms. Like
Yep.
Mega Man has like drag down combos with backer. Like you could do backer drag down up till.
He has crazy combos for sure and crazy conversions. And he has some footstool stuff too. I don't know if it's the Tweak character though, because like you said, I feel like Tweak is gonna have to invest a lot of time into him just because of the way the character's designed.
But I think
And
that's
I
what he
don't know,
wants.
he could do that, but then he'd have to like not play, I guess, Diddy as much. I don't know if he's gonna do that. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he'll stop playing Diddy, but I think that Tweak does appreciate characters that you have to invest a lot of time into.
Invest. Yeah, he likes the time sink for sure.
Yeah, because I remember just talking to him, and then he's just like, a lot of the characters in Ultimate he doesn't like because he feels like they're too easy.
Yeah, they're too simple. I can agree with that actually.
We'll see what happens. I mean, he did try Mega Man against Onin, but I don't think his Mega Man was.
Wait, really?
Yeah, at Crown, he went Mega Man.
Like the set or like one game?
He went Mega Man for one game.
Was it bad? Was it close?
I mean, he lost. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how it went, but yeah,
that's interesting. Actually, I didn't think he'd actually play Mega Man in tournament like right away.
Yeah, when I think the last time people talked to him, he said he doesn't feel like he didn't feel like his Mega Man was tournament ready. But I think at that point, because he was down, he just wanted to try it.
Well, we'll see. I don't know if he's gonna keep playing Mega Man, but it'll be interesting for him to play Mega Man against like his bad matchups.
Yeah,
and especially if it works out. But we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Side note, because it's been so long, and I just remembered. How did you guys feel about Sora and Kamehameha's run?
Oh,
that was the greatest. That was the greatest losers run in Ultimate history.
That run was.
Wait, was it really?
Even though he didn't win, that was the greatest losers run in Ultimate history. He beat MK Leo. He beat Luigi. He beat Yoshidora. He beat Mia. He beat Gluttony.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
I need if there is a better losers run than that, I need you to tell me because I don't think there is.
He beat Onin too,
and he beat Onin. Yeah, he like that.
No, it was insane. It was
insane.
And yeah, it's crazy because it feels like you've seen some of these bits and pieces from Kamei for a while now, and obviously he's one of like the accolade him as like one of the best like Japanese like minds, right? Like in terms of Smash, right? He's always been for a long time just been a really strong player. He's coached a lot of players too on like how to do well and succeed. So it was just good to see all these kind of strategies that he's always been kind of employing and like kind of getting together. Like it all seemed like it all amalgamated into this like insane losers run that was just so. It was just wild to see him just jam it, dude. And with Sora, right, a character that people still. Like, you know, some people are still on the fence about, you know, in terms of how strong the character is. So, that was fun to see, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that worked in his favor. I feel like there aren't that many good Soras in Europe or America.
Anywhere.
Like, he's not anywhere.
I mean, are even like Soras that are comparable in Japan? I feel like Zachary, but he doesn't play Sora anymore. He's a pitmate.
Yeah, there's no Soras that are comparable. I mean, there's
not comparable. There's like good Soras.
There's a couple sprinkled around, right? Like what's the name? Like Opano or whatever, or like there's a couple ones where it's like they're good like lab rats per se, and so some of them do have some of the conversions down. But I don't think we don't have someone who has even close to the whole package, let alone like a top level, like a top player actually playing that character and bringing out like the key strategies that make Sora strong. Most top players that are playing him, dude, they all do fair 1, 2, 3 and call it a day, dude. Like they don't know any of the like DJ Nair and all that stuff as well, right? Like in kind of the appropriate spacing you need to get for like the Nair loops and the fair strings and stuff like that as well. So
from what I saw, there were a lot of Soras in Japan, like when I was over there for like
there are Soras.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like in friendlies and like I was watching like the ladder, people were playing it, Smash Mate or Smash Mate, and there were like a lot of Soras on the ladder as well. So I feel like Japan's probably better against Sora mainly because of Kameme, but also there's just more Soras there from what I saw. But like it's probably hard for like the top players like Light and like all of the other top players in the West to fight like the best Sora in the world. Like it's such a jump from like the second best Sora they've ever played. Even like that one conversion, there was like a bunch of stuff that like I didn't see yet. Like even that one conversion he did against Leo, like the very last stock. He
Oh,
did,
the
like,
fairs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fair into up B, like double jump up B. I forgot what it was.
No, he just kept pairing him. He just
He just
bailed him.
compared him.
Yeah.
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 He
Well-
definitely hit him with the bail.
Yeah.
No, I mean it ended with a B. I mean the combo that ended with a B.
Oh, are you talking about? Okay, I thought you were talking about. There was one stock where you just kept pairing him. I don't remember the exact combo, but I think he did end it with a B or something. It was on like
Yeah, I think-
was it Hall Bastion?
I think it was fair 1-2 into fair 1-2 into double jump
tilt.
up B or something. I forgot what it was, or a down tilt up B. But it was like a combo I hadn't seen before because most people would up smash.
Oh,
after that.
on the platform.
It was like
Yeah.
oh no, it was landing
Well, it
there.
was
It was landing there on B.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
landing there. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what you're talking
Oh,
about.
was it landing there? Okay,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yeah, that's actually like a pretty basic Sora combo because Soras will do that when they're not confident in the up smash hitting, but they know they'll get the kill.
I usually see Soras go for the up smash, and whenever they go for the up B, it usually doesn't kill. But he was at that percentage and at the spot where it just killed. He had enough
Yeah.
range, so.
Yeah.
It's
he
good
just
for
knew.
platform extensions when you're gonna get that, and then you're like, depends on like the fall speed and stuff as well. But then
Yeah.
you can get that down tilt into up B, which is like godlike.
Yeah, there are like a lot of like small things like that where I don't see any other Sora player do, besides like Twitter like training mode combos. That's the other thing. Like I feel like Steve is so good still because of so many combos that people don't really do in tournament. I wonder if that's just gonna get worse because if you look on Twitter, there's so many crazy Steve clips like up smash extensions or like down tilt extensions off of minecart and just all sorts of like crazy shit. But then you watch like a Steve in tournament and they'll just do like up tilt, up air, up smash, which still does like 60% or like 58 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's gonna be interesting to see when like the Steve combos get like more consistent and more optimal.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's funny because, obviously Steve is still being pretty dominant, but I also think Steve is a really strong late meta character, like in the sense that there's a lot of things that once people become better and like the ceiling just becomes like a lot higher, we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. I feel the same way about Sora too, because I feel like Sora is also a character that's very late meta where, like, obviously Kameme is amazing, but I feel like he's barely scratching the surface in terms of what the character can do because there's a lot of crazy combos that he's still not doing, or at least he's not consistently pulling off that he could be doing. Same thing you can say with Peach. I saw Umeki do this and I lost it because I remember Razo talking about this. Peach has the best footstool out of shield in the entire game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Peach can do footstool float.
Float.
Oh, I see.
You literally do anything you want. So you can do footstool float.
Dreams come true.
And then Razo also told me if Peach is holding a turnip at 0%, she has 0 death combos out of footstool, out of shield float.
That's pretty broken.
Yeah, so Umeki was like started doing it. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually crazy.
Yeah, Meki is wild, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Peach has it, and then the second best is Sora, then is it Ness?
It might be Ness, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ness can do like footstool, side magnet.
Yep.
But yeah, Sora's is also scary because he can do footstool, double jump nair, or double jump cancel nair.
Steve's also scary. Just getting anviled at the 80 and dying.
With Sora though, he because like the nair 1-2 loops, right? He can do the nair 1-2 loops out of footstool, out of shield.
Oh,
yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, and then carry you into like either like a ton of damage or like depending on if it's like an early, he can get definitely like at early presents that can just lead directly into a kill if they actually got the nair loops down, know how to when they need to transition.
Yeah, I mean it just depends. Like I said, late meta stuff. There's like also a chance we never see it at that high of a level because a new Smash game comes out or something. It's basically what happens in like most Smash games, except for Melee.
It's interesting to think about how Brawl would have ended up, or Smash 4 would have ended up if like we had more time for like the meta to progress. Because I feel like every time there's so many characters that are still super underdeveloped. Definitely in Smash 4 more so than in Brawl, because Brawl is a bit unbalanced. But even in Brawl, here are like characters towards the end of Brawl where I was like, I feel like this character's better, but this game's about to end, like the lifespan is about to end, and like
it
nobody's
doesn't matter.
Find out.
Wait,
matter.
Who do you think? What character comes to mind?
In Brawl?
Yeah.
Probably Sheik. I thought Sheik was a little bit better than people thought. I thought Pit was a little bit better than people thought as well. Fox, I thought was better than people thought.
I agree with that. Peach? What about Peach?
Peach as well. Peach is definitely one of them. I would have to look at their roster, but Those four for sure. And then in Smash 4, I had the same thing with like a bunch of characters. I thought Roy in Smash 4 could have ended up being a lot better than he was, but like,
Roy?
yeah, but like
Yes,
when Roy was starting to get good, like the game already
agree.
ended.
Yeah, it's kind of
Bam
funny.
was the Roy guy. He like was lagging Roy so hard.
Dude, that character was wild. It's so funny that like Roy had a lot of stuff that he had in freaking Ultimate, and then like an Ultimate, everyone's like, "Oh, he's just good." I'm like, dude, he had this shit, and it's like if you could just like move right with him too, then that character was definitely a menace. That character 100% should have been a lot better. It was kind of crazy that the character didn't get that recognition in time, but yeah, I agree with you so much.
I agree. This is a hot take, but I liked playing Roy more. Well, it's not a hot take. This is my opinion. I like playing him more in Smash 4.
Oh, he was fun.
He was hella fun. Like, he was so fast.
You played me with Roy in tournament.
Dude, towards like the last 6-7 months of the game, I literally only played Roy. I played Sheik like a little bit on the side, but like every time I played friendlies, like Roy was my second best character by far. Yeah. And I even went to a tournament in SoCal and I just only went Roy like the entire tournament. Hell yeah, it was fun.
It did. Roy is very, very fun, and it's
character was fun in Smash 4.
Yeah, and if you're doing if you're getting like the actual like dash dances and like the perfect play and like canceling from there and stuff too, like, dude, I looked back at videos the other day and I'm like, man, my Roy is literally moving like it's an ultimate. It's like crazy. That was having so much fun. That character was sick.
His sour spot combos had like more. You could do more with his sour spots in Smash 4. It felt like in this game, you can still do some cool stuff with sour spots, but definitely not the same as in Smash 4. And then his 4-throw, I think, comboed into like Nair, right? Kind of like Brawl Marth. Yeah. So that shit was hype.
It's basically going to be the same way in Ultimate because there's even more characters and like we said, it's more balanced. So there's just going to be a long list of characters that we're just not going to see their full meta be developed at all, or even close to developed.
Dude, even in like 5 years, we're not going to be anywhere close to being fully. Like, look at Melee, right? Melee's been out for so long, and they don't even have like a big cast. And I mean, obviously, Melee is like designed differently, and each character has a little bit more depth. But even then, there's so many characters in Ultimate. Like, I feel like even in 10 years, that's when we can be like, okay, this might be. I don't even know. It might take forever because we've never had like a game like Ultimate where everybody's viable and the cast is this big. So there's nothing to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it also just depends on the people because you need someone who's able to push that character's meta so far. Like, look at Amsa with Yoshi and Melee.
Yoshi.
Do you really think there would be another? Do you think that someone else would come along and do what Amsa did if it wasn't for him? I don't think so. Like people
probably not. Yeah.
People would still think 100%. Yoshi sucked. Probably.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. You need like one good player to show.
Someone needs to open the door, man.
Potential.
Yeah. Someone needs to open the door.
Dude, I need someone to do that with Lucas, but not really because I don't want to play that character.
Dude.
But I kind of want to see it though.
I want to see it. Sorry. I want to see it, but I don't.
And then put it away. I want to. Yeah, I want to open the door and then close it. That's all I want to do.
I'm gonna keep it that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
just don't keep the door open.
I feel like I was kind of curious about Bayo, but now it's now
it's like over.
It's too late.
That ship is sailed, right?
I wanted to see it, but like, there's too many people now.
Makes me happy.
It's just out there.
I was waiting, dude. I was waiting. You almost crushed my soul, man. Dude, Robin, the very beginning of freaking Ultimate, I'd go and freaking play with Larry. I'm like, dude, man, I played some people and like I've been like looking at this character. I think Bale is like actually like pretty good still. Like, and he's like, oh, okay, bet. And then he just break me, dude. I'd leave and I'd be walking to my car. I'm like, damn, dude, what was I thinking? I'm an idiot.
all right, but Bale in the beginning of Ultimate wasn't a good character though.
Wasn't a good character.
True.
Yeah, I still think the character had potential back then, but
she was still better than people thought.
Definitely got buffed for sure.
Yeah, like her things didn't work.
Is also a part of the factor.
Because like what, her up tilt didn't work.
Was huge.
Yeah, up tilt was huge. Her jab didn't kill. Her dash attack didn't kill.
Yep.
Side B, I think, had a higher multiplier on it. Which time
the
was
biggest
worse.
one for her, like which time was worse? Like which time is still like whatever, but like the big thing for her having that jab and having dash attack, so in like corner situations. She can like still has some kind of mix up to actually get a kill there was huge, and then the side B multiplier, and then like obviously up tilt having
which
that
up tilt
confirm in the bear.
Yeah. She's more than good now. Like I'd say solid high tier, maybe probably even top tier. I would say.
Oh yeah, how's playing Bloom? I don't think I've ever asked you about that.
Yeah, how's that, man?
How's that?
I mean, I played him often, honestly. We've only played like 4 sets. The first set I went Crom and I lost like 1-3. And then the second set I went Sheik and I lost 1-3. And then the last 2 sets I won 3-0 and 3-2. But it was like 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
So I haven't played him recently. I don't know. He's really good, but I do think it really helps that the top 2 in Europe, besides Bloom, play like good matchups for Bayo. It doesn't help that much because Bloom is like already a really good player. Like he can pretty much get the top 8 of an EU tournament with like just by playing random, like going any character, because he's that good. But then the fact that Bayo does good against Wario and Samus, it just makes his job a little bit easier than if you had to fight like Apollo Kage or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I'll give
an
it up for
annoying
that.
matchup.
For sure.
That's why I really want to see Bloom outside of Europe because I know he's really good here, but I just want to see how he does like in Japan or like other places.
Dude, I'm sad he didn't go to Battle of BC. Like he backed out last minute or something, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to work with some people on some stuff, man. I'm just hoping that we can get him out, man.
Oh man, RB Bam.
Yeah, man, I'm in the wings, dude. I'm plotting out here, dude. But I would love to see him go at it with so many other players because he's so good, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's so freaking good. He's so consistent. It's interesting to see the difference between his play and Lima's as well, and kind of seeing how Lima was able to play at Kagurabian and stuff too. Like I do think that he'd give a lot of people trouble for sure. He's very, very strong, and he's just very clean. I think a lot of times the thing that I like about like Lima is he's really good. Obviously, he goes super hard in the paint, right? Like he gets a hit and he just goes ham.
I feel like
right?
he's just really intelligent with his advantage state.
He is absolutely. Like it's like
very calm and collected.
Yeah, but I think the one thing that I find interesting about Bloom is like Bloom plays more like I think it's like his neutral, and then he instead of going the Lima route where it's like, oh, I hit you, so you should die now. I don't care what percent it is, what time or whatever. I'm looking for the kill. Like Bloom seems to be more like methodical. Will stop sometimes the combos short, kind of read certain habits and kind of move from there. And it seems that's like resulted in a more consistent like placements and stuff too, from what I've seen. At least that's kind of like how I think of like when I look at both of them and they're kind of differing play styles. So I'd just be really interested to see how that would like operate against some more of the people out here in the US and then like that he hasn't played, and then obviously players in Mexico and Japan.
For me, it's also just like matchups because like I want to see Bloom fight Bale's bad matchups at like top level against not
that as well
against other players. So like I said, the Apollo Kage one, for example. I know Lima's beaten Apollo Kage like once, maybe twice. I forgot how many times, but Apollo Kage has beaten Lima more often, as far as I know. Because it's a hard matchup, and the other reason why I want to see this because I want to see how good Bale is, kind of to confirm what I was thinking. Because I'm thinking Bale is like better than most people think. Because I think Bale could be like top tier.
Actually, you and I. So
I
guess us three, honestly.
I want to see that Blue Main Brawler. That's what I want to see.
Oh,
I want to see that Blue Main Brawler.
I don't like his Mii Brawler. I
don't like it at all.
I think his Mii Brawler is really good. I just don't like watching it. I like watching his Bayo because it's more fun to watch.
His
Mii Brawler is just like stupid.
His Mii
Brawler stacks and like
his Mii Brawler is just fundamentally sound. Like when he beat
exactly.
Was it Abadongo? He beat Abadongo like not doing Mii Brawler things. He just beat him.
Yeah, he didn't rob at all. He just he was playing on his game.
He 3-0 shoot on. He did the 3-0 shoot on with his Mii Brawler.
Yeah,
like he's not doing shit. Like he's just dash stacking and up being out of shield and just being like Bloom, you know, just being a good player. But nothing like Mii Brawler specific. But then with his Bayo, he'll do like Bayo specific combos, like extensions and all that, and it's like more fun to watch. But yeah, I would love to see him against more like foreigners because it's hype. He's like repping Europe now. He's also like an incredibly nice kid. I don't know if you ever like talked to him at a tournament.
I've never seen him.
You've never seen him? Okay. Because his mom usually tags along, and his mom and him are both like some of the nicest people you can like have a conversation with at a tournament. So you just can't help but root for the guy because he's like such a nice little kid, and his mom's always like so sweet and wholesome. It's just hype to see him at like a foreign tournament and like being in my room and like, you know, cheering for him and having all of Europe cheer for him. I actually got hit up by City from Smash Factor because he wants to fly out Bloom, but it's difficult for Teos to fly out Bloom right now because you're gonna have to pay for his mom to come with as well. So it's like twice the price basically. I think if that wasn't the case, he would have traveled like out of country a lot more by now. But it's a little bit harder because he's still young. People tend to forget he's like not 18 yet. I think he's like 16 or 17.
Yeah, I thought he was. I think
he's 16.
He's 17.
Because 17. Okay. Yeah.
Because I think he's actually gonna. I'm pretty sure he turned by the end of the year. He's gonna turn 18. His birthday hasn't happened yet.
You think so? Okay, yeah.
It's cool to see that there's just more reps from like different regions that are like really strong and they're like making names for themselves. You know, and obviously like it's also. I think one of the biggest thing is, of course, a lot of these people already existed, but you're seeing more of those players travel more and getting the experience they need. You're having the US not be as dumb and be as like US centric. Obviously, we still are, but it's getting a bit better where people are starting to watch more tournaments around the world and bring visibility to other talents across the world who are great. I think that progression has been really nice to see. I'm sure because for all of us, I mean, obviously, especially for you, Ramen, too, like it's insane sometimes that people don't realize how good everyone is like around the world, and people don't get that kind of credit. So it's been great to see more of that happen. We still have a long way to go, but I just feel like there's so many times now I just hear like, oh, there was this player coming from here, and I'm like, dude, that's so sick. I want to see them up against the world's best. Like I want to see that more and more again. So I love that development in Ultimate, where we're kind of moving a bit more away from being so US centric.
Yeah, to be honest, part of me, this is gonna. I feel like there's gonna be some people who hate me for saying this, but part of me wants Akolo to be the #1 player because I think that puts significantly less focus on North America. And I think it will motivate people to actually travel more. Because I feel like a lot of North America is they kind of just have this feeling like, oh, well, we're the best like area, so people are going to come to us anyways. Like, we don't have to travel or like go see anything. And I think it would be nice just for people to go to more events and kind of see more of the world, because I feel like it's submerge yourself in different cultures and stuff, you know?
I definitely agree. Like, on a personal level, like an individual level, it's like a good experience for most people to travel around, meet different people, experience different cultures. This is gonna help you like grow up as a person, but also like the community's perspective. It's just good for the overall community. Like if somebody like Light comes to Europe, goes to the tournament, that tournament is gonna have way more viewers now for like an EU tournament than like any other event prior to that. Or like if a bunch of top players travel from like America to like Mexico, or like, you know, you name it, like some region that doesn't get enough rep. Like, I don't think top players realize like how much their name can contribute towards a local scene, or like, you know, like a community somewhere in a different part of the world that you're not, like where you don't live. And I just think it's a shame that I'm not even just like Americans, but just like people in general, they don't travel. Like top players just don't travel. A lot of them don't travel enough. And it's not like you're obligated to travel by any means. Like you can do content creation, you can just, you know, travel to tournaments near you. But it would be nice, and it would help the community out a lot as well, if like more top players started traveling to different places, like outside of the comfort zone. Kind of like going back to what we were saying earlier, like Leo did, or like Armada did. And I think I contribute a lot of, like, for example, the growth in the French scene. Obviously not all of it, but a good chunk. I would contribute to Leo for traveling to France so often, like being good friends with Luto, and like coming to all these tournaments. Like if you're like a French player that's like 14 years old and you watch like Leo all the time, you know, you're just a Smash fan, casual Smash fan that watches tournaments, but you don't really compete, but you do know MK Leo because he's the best player in the world. All of a sudden he's going to Paris, your hometown, like 2 hours away. Like that's a great initiative for you to like be like, okay, well, I want to go to this tournament now for the first time, and that could open up like you going to like more tournaments. So it just helps a lot with the overall community. And I just think there's so many benefits to traveling for like the bigger, if you look at the bigger picture, but also for yourself as an individual. It's like, why would you not travel? You know, you should do it. Like get outside of your comfort zone. You're gonna be a better person. You're gonna gain more experiences from traveling to this place you've never have been than you staying in your home for like, you know, the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. Also, just to add on that, there's been so many events I've gone to that I've gotten invited to or I've traveled to, where someone literally told me, like, just straight to my face, I only went to this event because you went. Like, you're the only reason why I'm here.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Some people just don't realize like how influential you can be in like a lot of these cases.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, it has a big impact, man. Like it's funny too because like even for like my job, like part of like my like big thing about jobs, like obviously you want to do events that are fun and engaging for like consumers and people to have a good time and like be able to leave and feel like they got something like unique, right? But a big portion of that will always be like, hey, I got to meet someone I'm a fan of. I got to meet someone that like I've always seen on screen and now I can see them in flesh and blood and they're real and interact with them and engage with them. Like, and that's so powerful. And that's such a great motivator and cultivator for any kind of scene, right? To know that you're valued and you can be something too. And they're here, right? Sometimes for people just to feel like you can do it is like, just to see them feels like, hey, they are human. I'm human. Maybe I can do it, right? And that is so massive in terms of growing the scene. And sometimes for Smash, because it's so big, right? And sometimes you don't get that time too. Like when you do have these top players going out to these events, right? And it's like, damn, now it's not this big, crazy, major, this whatever. They're out my spot, and usually if they fly out there, they stay some X amount of time, so they're probably going to end up at your local too. And it's like, wow, I'm at a local now with a small amount of people, and one of them is this person I've been watching for years, right? And so you get some kind of that additional face time. And it's like, it's just so meaningful to empowering the scene, man. And it's like a beautiful thing, right? Like that's what's really elevated, man. Sometimes it's funny because I think of DSF, dude, back in the day, and how that guy was just traveling all around, dude. Like the GOAT, dude. One of the freaking legends, man, right? But I always just kind of think about the notion of someone doing that, especially at that time. Imagine, dude, you hear this mystery of this dude, DSF, dude. Freaking die Superfly, and then all of a sudden this dude's at your local, dude, fighting for his life, dude.
That guy was insane.
Fighting for his rent money.
That guy was insane.
He
was absolutely, but bro, that's hype. Like if I saw that, I'm like, dang, like yo, that's I could do that.
So
like, that would inspire me.
So for people who don't know, basically he was making a living off of Smash when no one thought that was like sustainable. He was
like early Brawl days. This is like 10
this
years
is Melee.
ago.
No, before, dude.
He was doing
Melee.
He was doing Melee. Yeah. Like
it was like 15 years ago.
So he would go to some events. He would literally buy a one-way ticket, or like a one-way like
oh my god
bus trip.
That's all you could afford, dude.
And then he like in order for him to go home, he'd have to win.
That's crazy.
Like literally, like he'd have to win enough money to go home.
So he would just literally like he'd have to win the tournament or other tournaments nearby, and then literally do money matches, and then he would get a flight home. Yeah, and he just lived like that, like a nomad. Like he was literally, that's what he was doing. Literally the world warrior. Like he was.
Where did he sleep? Where was he sleeping?
He would just like
get housing.
Yeah, he would just get housing with people, but like
yeah, dude.
Yeah, like
he was a nomad.
He would just do like one-way trips and then like go to one tournament that was in this one region. It's like, oh, there's a major that's like in the next state, and you go there. It was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was insane.
I can't say I'm too surprised considering other stories I've heard from Smashers before. Yeah. So
also, you guys want to know more about DSF? I actually did an interview with him. It's on my YouTube channel, so should check that out.
Wow. The way you said that, man. Damn. All right.
What do you mean? How did I say it?
No, it's just the way you said it, dude.
I was just putting on my promoter voice,
That's what I mean. Like you know what I said. Why are you acting like I said?
I don't know. It made me sound like I'm scummy or something.
I'm not doing that.
You gotta promote yourself, man.
We out here just trying to find ways to win, man. That's it, man. It's all good,
dude. If I'm not fighting for me, then who is?
Exactly, bro.
If I'm not fighting for me,
I'm for it. I am a fan. All right, I am a fan. It's okay. I want you to fight for yourself, man. Fight back. Don't let the world take everything, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna go back to what Bam was saying when you said like, oh, you can just go to a local and see DSF or like, I think that's what makes Smash so special to me. Is like you can go to one of these tournaments if you're like nearby, and if it's a big tournament, and you can basically you can pretty much just walk up to anybody, like almost all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you rarely can you not walk up to somebody that you really want to walk up to. If you're looking forward to like that specific thing, like that's pretty special to Smash. Because if you go to like a League tournament or like a Valorant tournament, like, you're not gonna just see like Hungrybox or Mango like walk past you or like play on a setup like next to you to warm up. So I like Smash and FGC games in particular because they still have like that grassroots feeling where you can just go to a tournament and not feel like it's the spectators event only. Like, you can still be part of the event just by interacting with people more. Whereas like a lot of the other esports, like these non-fighting game esports, it's like you go there and then you watch the show and then you go back. And then I like Smash for that reason, and fighting games in general as well, just because you can just walk up to anybody and like introduce yourself. As long as you're not weird about it, you know, anybody can have like a conversation with you. And I think that's pretty unique to like fighting games in Smash.
It is, man. It is, and it's something that like I think all people in the industry know too. Like, there's a reason why. Like, I've heard so many times from industry execs, like whoever, where it's just like, yeah, like FGC is the heart, right? It is the heart of esports because they understand it's like back to the. We still maintain that old school, like, people are coming around. Everyone has a shot, dude. Like, per se, everyone can enter. You know, it's open brackets, right? People, like you said, they're just walking around. I can turn around and see, you know, Mango for the first time or HBox for the first time. Hey, this is my first tournament, and I ended up getting a drink with J-Mook or something. You know what I mean? Like, those are the kind of things that can happen, right? You know, it's like, oh, like, dude, I'm chilling here, sitting here, and you know, I always like this character Sheik, and I go to the tournament, and all of a sudden Ramen's there, dude, and like, it's like, what's up, you know? And it's like those kind of things like can happen, and it is like, it's tangible. It's still tangible. It still feels like it's something that's to touch. It's not outside of your purview. It's not so distant as it is for where like other like where like kind of the tier 1 esports tend to be, right? So that is something that will always make the FGC in my eyes like so damn special, like that key factor.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you have a group of friends and you go to like a Smash event or like an FGC event, it's gonna be like a great weekend, like 9 out of 10 times, as long as the event itself is good, because there's so much to do. And then the other thing that makes Smash special is also what you said earlier, Bam. There's just so many different parts of the world where people are good now because Ultimate's player base is just so big. So it's just natural for more people to be good everywhere. So I just think it's hype when somebody from, you know, from some place I don't know, I've never heard of, just comes out of nowhere and starts beating like a top player. Sometimes that might be related to their character choice, you know, but that doesn't really matter too much because it's still hype, you know, it's still like an underdog story. So that's the other aspect I like a lot.
Man. I think it's also because everyone's like, oh, I know that guy, like, he fucked me up.
It's like, it's hype, dude.
Dude,
who was forgetting, I think are they a Toon Link or Young Link from Australia? Starts with a J, I think.
It's Jay Dizzle. He's
Jay Dizzle, right?
Link. Yeah, he's
Young Link, right? Yeah, dude, like that guy, like, it was so sick. Like, when at Kagaribi, I actually got to cast with one of his I don't know if they're actually like a full-time caster in Australia or not. They jumped on the mic, and you know, that Jay Dizzle's their boy, right? So there's like every time, this is kind of funny because like he would always just talk about Jay Dizzle, like he didn't care who else was on the screen. It was a Jay Dizzle show, but it was so a beautiful thing to see because you just knew they just had so much passion for that and the pride. Like, yeah, we're on the map, baby. Yeah, don't ever say Jay Dizzle can't do it out here in Japan. And they're popping off and they're jumping like this guy won a Super Bowl and they're throwing their hands up in the air. Dude, he left his commentary block. Bro literally ran off, jumped up in the sky, threw his hat up like fucking Terry Bogard. Okay, like, you got it, bro. But it's like, that is something that like that's what happens with the evolution of like Ultimate and the globalization of it, right? And seeing those things, like, you get those crazy moments and those pride moments, and it was so fun to see, dude. I was cracking up. Like I was like, damn, what is happening right now? This guy just gone. Like he doesn't care anymore. He was there for one thing and one thing only, and that was Jay Dizzle. And I'm like, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Also, I'm pretty sure he went to the Kagaribi a year before that, or like some Japanese tournament the year before that. So he's like speaking of traveling and like being on the grind, he's definitely one of those people.
And I remember he was at first when he was traveling, he was struggling a little bit, and then he had like a Japan saga where he went to Japan for like I think a month or like a few weeks or like 2 months. I forgot how long exactly. And then he just grinded a lot in Japan. And after that, he got a lot better, like in terms of results.
He's really good. He's really, really solid, man. He was doing well actually that tournament.
Dude, it's funny because I played against him 4 years ago, like at the beginning of Ultimate. Like me, Cosmos, and Nikat went to Australia for a tournament, and top three was Cosmos, me, and Nikat, or no, it was Cosmos, Nikat, and me, and then fourth was Jay Dizzle. And this was like 4 years ago, and I was still playing Crom, and I had a game 5 last hit, last stock set with Jay Dizzle in like losers, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like I've never heard of him.
Right.
I was like, oh, this must have been a fluke that it was so close, you know? Like, I probably was playing bad. And then, like, fast forward a few years, and this guy's, like, the best player in Australia now, and, like, he does really good in Japan. So it's always cool to see when you play somebody, like, really early, and then you fast forward a few years, and they're just, like, gods now, or, like, you're really good.
Ramen always finding talent, dude. Worldwide, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Even with fucking...
I was waiting for it. Like he somehow wanted to make this into himself fighting people. He's
always like that.
He's like, I'm so good at finding talent, bro. I need to be a talent master, bro. Even if I went to Japan,
not even Leo thing. I went to Japan.
I discovered
like the first tournament I entered was Wave in Japan, and I lost to this Bayo that only plays on Wi-Fi in Japan, doesn't play offline. This was like his second or third like big Japanese event, and they put him in my pool. I think his name is Tama Daifuku, and then I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? This guy's like really good." Yeah. And then like at Kagaribi, he just like beats T like it's nothing. I mean, it was game 5, but some of the games are like pretty convincing.
He actually like was destroying him in some of the matches. It looked crazy.
Yeah, it was funny. He definitely took notes from Lima though, because Lima beat him like just like at the tournament before or whatever, or something like that. And then he's like, "Oh, bet," and then he just jammed him, dude. It was a great set.
Dude, between him, Lima, and Bloom, I feel like the top level representatives of Bayo are like really good, like those three. And then there's also like other good Bayos in America, like Geist. Am I pronouncing it?
Yeah, Geist.
There's Geist, Death Spade,
Death Spade.
But there's a couple of them. There's a couple solid Bayos, man. I mean, that character, I definitely feel like nowadays, if you go to a local and stuff like that, you'll usually have a local. Some strong Bayo or regionally strong or like locally strong Bayo, right? But yeah, now we're getting to a point where you definitely have. Then there's kind of a gap on like the national side. You don't see them do really too well, but now you have the Bloom, the Lima, Tama Dafuku, Tama P.
Yeah, Bayo broken, guys.
There's too many Bayos.
Remember,
it's a good character, man. Keep it up, dude.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I want to bring up something. I feel like in the current meta of Ultimate, if you can't beat these 5 characters, you're never going to win a major. So I think it's Game & Watch, Steve, Kazuya, Rob, and
Sonic.
Sonic, it's Sonic. Yeah, I think if you're not good or like relevant against those characters, you're not going to be able to win any notable tournament.
What about Cloud? I feel like Cloud's up there too. A lot of people are playing Cloud.
I feel like Cloud isn't as polarizing as the other 5 I mentioned. Like his game plan makes sense, and he also kind of, at least at lower levels, he's gimpable. Like at a top level, he people meme about this, but he's actually hard to gimp at a really high level.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I mean, he is hard to gimp if you play against like Spargo or some shit. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think Min Min's really good too.
The only thing is, I don't think there's enough Min-Mins. I do agree though. Yeah. I think Min-Min would be in that tier if there were more.
There's barely any, and then the ones that are out there right now all suck, to be honest.
Min-Min kind of seems like fun to play, honestly. Like nobody can get close to you. You're
just you just feel good.
You're playing a different game.
yeah. It's like
you're literally playing a different game.
Yeah, what up, dude?
Well, so why don't you play Min-Min, Ramen?
Maybe I should, Larry.
Maybe you should. Bring a Min to Europe. They don't have any, right?
Not really. We have like a French one. Forgot his tag though. And Peckham, but Peckham doesn't live in Europe anymore. So.
Peckham is SoCal. We claimed him. He might be Scottish, but he's a Californian.
For now.
No.
Wait, I forgot. Is he always living there, or is he coming back? I think I've had this conversation with him in Canada, but I forgot.
He's SoCal. Just send it at
He's
that.
a permanent resident. He's never coming back.
He's got a green card and everything. He's SoCal.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess he is SoCal.
Yeah, I told you we claimed him.
Damn, that's too bad.
You guys lost.
He's a nice guy.
He's terrific. One of my favorite people.
All
But
right,
yeah, anyways, pick up Min. You know, bring that level of advance the meta. Develop.
I've been thinking about like the thing is if I'm gonna pick up a boring character anyway.
You said you said Min was exciting.
I was joking when I said that earlier. I was joking. Obviously, Min is not gonna be fun when I play her. If I'm gonna pick a boring character anyway, I should probably play Cloud, right?
Sure. I mean,
well, it's kind of boring, a little bit. I don't know. I think most characters in this game are boring. To be fair,
maybe.
You don't agree?
There's definitely some boring characters.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's so like. Everybody's design is like way more simple and like easy in this game.
There's boring characters, you said?
I'll say there's more boring characters in this game. Everybody's like design is like so simple compared to like other Smash games. I would say there's like less character specific tech. Let me put it that way.
I don't think Schultz is boring.
Well, that's like a exception to the rule. Like so is Sheik, or like Sora, or like Steve, or Snake.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're saying.
If you look at like Wolf. Or like Lucina, or some of those characters, then I don't know. I just think it's like their game plan's like really simple.
I definitely agree with that. I do think though contextually it's interesting because even though it's like simple, because there's so many viable characters and matchups, like I feel like the complexity and then like interest becomes from like other aspects, and like a lot of it comes from matchup stuff, right? Versus. Like in the other old games, like just characters in and of themselves, it was pretty high. Like having character specific tech, right, or character specific movement, and all that kind of stuff. I do miss a lot of those things, man. And I think that's especially like back then, like when I was a labber, like that's the stuff that I really, really liked. I kind of love that some things are simplified, so more people can get into it, and more things can be utilized. Like having an actual dash dance, and having that kind of movement. And all those little things here and there. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, damn, man, I wish that had a little extra. But learning so many matchups and stuff too in this game, I'm glad it's that way, because otherwise, dude, can you imagine?
Yeah.
If characters were like, if the game was still relatively balanced how it was now, plus all the character specific this, that, and the
especially the character specific.
Yeah, people already get robbed, bro, and it's simplified, as you said, right? So imagine that.
Yeah,
no way, bro. We're done.
That's why I would prefer for the next Smash to just have like a smaller cast, but like each character have like a little bit more depth. Where, for example, if I go to training mode, like I want to have, if I can have fun with my character in training mode, like that's like kind of the criteria for me, basically.
Yeah.
With some characters, like you're not gonna have fun with Lucina in training mode. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're not gonna do shit. You're just gonna like
do landing up air
space your forward air, like space your near or whatever.
Oh, bro, landing up air, like rising fair 1 stuff or side B1 stuff.
If Lucina could do double fair in one short hop, I would play her again. That's all it takes.
I know you would, Robin. You said that in Smash 4 too with Marth.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe they took out the short hop double fair. It was in Melee and in Brawl, but they took it out in Smash 4.
I know, man. I know, dude. That would be godlike for sure. It'd be broken as hell, but it'd be so fun. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like for a lot of I think that's why I started gravitating. I used to play so many characters too. When I look back in the day, just to lab and have fun, because there's so much nuance with all these characters. But definitely over time, it's like, oh, well, play Bayo, play Sonic, play all those characters that like have that kind of depth. Because there's definitely characters that like do kind of fulfill that in this game. But then there's also very characters where it's like, dude, you are simplified.com, right? And that's where, dude, there's no way you're enjoying having like doing training with this character. But it looks like based on what we know, right, about if there is another Smash, just purely on the whole, like all the deals and contracts, like in things that had to be done in order to get this cast, the roster will definitely be smaller unless something obscene changes. But based on what we know right now, it's going to be a smaller roster. And I hope that does translate into having a more competitive roster, like more depth, which I could see happening especially with some of the new platform fighters that we'll have on the horizons. I think that will, I hope, push Nintendo to feel like they need to do a bit more in order to maintain that audience. Because I don't think they make a new Smash quite some time.
Yeah.
And I think in that time there is pockets of some of these games that are going to be pretty good on the horizon. Some announced, some not announced, but like I think they're going to be really good. And I think that that's going to kind of change the platform fighter scene. I think we might have a renaissance similar to what's happening right now with traditional fighters, with Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Project L, those kind of things. So I'm actually really excited. Like the future is really bright for platform fighters and general FGC, man. I think it's really dope, kind of zooming out.
Yeah, no, I agree. That I do want to, like, I guess, add a little bit. I think Ultimate's probably going to be the Smash game that has the most characters, because I feel like the amount of effort and time they took to create this is just crazy. I don't really see them doing this again. So we're probably just going to have a much smaller roster. And yeah, platform fighters, dude, Rivals of Ether too. I am so hyped for that.
When is it coming out? You guys know?
It's supposed to come out next year.
Because I've seen so many like platform fighters and shit. That was like the only one out of like all of them that I was like, okay, I'm actually hyped for this platform fighter. But like when I was watching Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl or like Multiverses, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But Rivals 2 looks amazing.
Rivals looks amazing, and it like they added a lot of like more Smash stuff in it too, but then they also added their unique spins on it. And it's so damn fun to play. So I'm really excited for Rivals 2 as well. Multiverses, they're actually doing a whole like kind of rework on the game and adding a lot more stuff. They like really went back on the drawing board, and based on what I've been hearing from people like on the dev side and things too, it sounds like they solved a lot of key things that I personally felt like was too. Sometimes I felt like the game was like too mashy. I felt like it just didn't lean into a lot of the neutral and the kind of stuff that we all love and like, you know, and Smash and like in general these key platform fighters, and they're looking to lean into that stuff more. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's a really good sign. And then there's a couple ones that I've kind of heard in the winds of the industry land that are like supposed to be godlike, but I'm still waiting to see like confirmations. But I've been hearing from some good people. There's like some OD platform fighters that might be coming out in the next year or 2 years. So we'll see, man.
I do.
That's what I've been hearing about fighting games.
I was gonna say I did hear like there's like a Disney platform fighters that's supposedly coming out.
There's also that too. Yeah,
I have a fighting game in mind, but I can't tell you guys because it's supposed to be a secret, and it's like trusted information that I got from a friend. But it's like an anime fighting game coming out like in the next 1 to 3 years. And it's like one of those animes with like a big audience. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, that's hype.
If that's real and my friend didn't lie to me or he didn't get lied to, then that should be interesting too.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple. It's crazy. Like I truly do believe this is what's going to make fighting games go into a tier 1 esport. Me personally, like in terms of a genre, because there's a lot of good ones coming out and people are pushing forward. And I think, thank God, Street Fighter 6 came out well. Are you guys all playing? I know, Larry, you're playing. Are you playing?
I can't play right now.
I got my little snack box, dude. But are you gonna play? Sorry, yeah, I know you're.
I'm definitely gonna play. I played Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 was amazing. Yeah. And then 5 came out. I did not like 5.
Yeah, 5 sucked until the tail end of it.
Yeah, it got better towards the end, but then who cares? You didn't start playing it. You already have to catch up so much. But then Street Fighter 6 came out, and this game actually looks fun. Like I haven't played it yet, but unlike 5, this game looks like fun. So I'm definitely gonna play it.
Yeah, and it's a complete package, man. Like I think that's one of the things that's like the greatest about it is you have good gameplay from the start. You have variants. Like the game mechanics are like there's so many different solutions you can utilize to try to answer these questions as you're in combat, which is great, right? Like you always want to have like all these different ways that you can kind of figure and solve things out. So that's always like fun. And then you have netcode is insane. Like off the bat, like being able just to jump in and play anyone in ranked, playing in a custom room. Dude, you even in custom room, you can have training mode in custom room and people can do online training mode with you. Their training mode is incredible. They have the frame data. They even have like the recording functions, all that kind of stuff you usually see in traditional fighting games. They also have like a simple section where it's like, hey, maybe you don't know how to tweak all this stuff and it's hard for you. So they have like, you can just say, oh, anti-air practice, learning a drive impact defense, block string practice, all
That's
those
so
kind of
good.
things.
Yeah, they also
very-
they also explain the frame data to you. Like they explain
Yep.
like all of it means, like the airborne frames, etc. Like how positive and negative things are.
Yeah, it's really well done. And then they have tutorials that actually give you a decent amount of like information on how like the base level of the game, like what someone should be looking at the intermediate level, and like really trying to like compete. Even play characters, you can actually do a tutorial where like obviously they have the combo trials, and then some of the advanced ones are actually pretty solid. And then they also give you stuff where they tell you like this is what the character's actual game plan should be, and this is what you should be looking for, and these are the tools that are going to help you kind of figure these things out. So, and then and that's like not even like you have the battle hub, which is essentially a virtual arcade, like, and you get stuff for your character, which is fun. And then you have the world tour, like you have a beat 'em up, which is something that should have been done a billion years ago in fighting games. Was done in Tekken Force, right? In Tekken 3,
that was
which
so
is
fun.
godlike,
so
bro.
fun.
Godlike.
Wait,
That
what
was
is it?
Force. Did you ever play
Force?
that in Tekken 3?
Oh, where you walk around and shit?
Yeah, you walk
Man.
around,
Yeah, I've done
yeah.
that. Didn't Tekken Dark Resurrection also have that?
Did it?
On,
I didn't
I
on
don't know.
PSP?
I remember it on 4.
Yeah, I just remember back when that stuff first came out, and I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, this makes so much sense. A fighting game, like, you know, if you're playing CPUs and doing all this stuff, like it's a beat 'em up. Like, of course, they should always do this. These genres like are so well connected, and then we never saw it again. Like, right? Like the closest thing to that for like a while, like, was like Subspace, which is why everyone loves Subspace, even though like if you break down Subspace and as like for what it is, it's
Beat
not
'em
the
up, right?
best thing in the world. Yeah, but it's essentially it's a beat 'em up. You're playing a little Kirby game with your character, like, and it's like you see them go high, you see them go low, so you have to use an aerial here, I have to use a down tilt here, get these low characters, and it's like that stuff does help people learn a game. And if you really lean into it and really kind of break down those strategies for it too, you can make someone come out of the end of that playing that single player game and to actually like, hey, you know what? I actually learned kind of how to play fighting games, which has always been a thing that's been hard for people, but that's because we just haven't had the appropriate tools. So I love what Street Fighter 6 did there. I think Tekken 8 is going to do the same. Mortal Kombat 1 looks great too. I'm usually not a Mortal Kombat fan, but Mortal Kombat 1 looks pretty dope.
I haven't actually seen anything on Mortal Kombat.
Dude, I haven't seen that either.
The gameplay looks like the best I've seen it in Mortal Kombat for
Does it
a
actually?
while. And it's like you have assist, essentially. You have assist. Yeah, you have assist, and you have air combos. So they made the game different. It looks polished as always. Mortal Kombat and Injustice have always had the great polish. It's always been a problem with their gameplay, but this time around, it looks like they have the gameplay, and it has, and it has all the bells and whistles and stuff for a full package. So, fighting games are doing something right now, man. It's an interesting time. And appropriate netcode.
I need to bring this up because I need to shout out the homie Pluto. Pluto is developing a platform fighter as well.
I think I saw that on Twitter, actually.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's developing it's a stick figure platform fighter. If you're at SmashCon, he's going to be there, and he's going to have a playable demo. So,
actually, I need to get. Speaking of that, I need to go to. I need to get my ticket for SmashCon. I'm definitely going. Are you guys all going to be there? Are you going to be there, Roman?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to be there.
Dude, I heard a lot of people are going to be going. Like a lot of. I know. I feel like for like I guess for OGs now, I don't know, but like for like all like a lot of the OGs, like a lot of them haven't been going to as many things, and I heard a lot more people are going to be coming to SmashCon this year, so definitely going to go out
usually
there.
the one where everybody goes.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely going to go out there because I just want to see people, man. It's been a minute, for sure.
You guys down to end it here? We've been talking for a while. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, we should end it. It's getting late here.
Yeah.
But before we go, I have one question to you, Larry.
What's up?
Would you give up one of your toes for like better online in Smash? Just like consistent online. You wouldn't. You just like
I like my
you know
toes
what I mean?
a lot,
You're like just one of your toes, and you have like no lag when you play online.
Would you give?
Why would you not do that?
Would you?
Of course, I would do that. You know how much like influence that will have on my livelihood and everything else.
Bam, would you do that? Would you give up one of your toes?
Well, Bam doesn't like play Smash for a living. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I honestly, I think even if I
dude, I wouldn't give up my toe. What? Like I like
online. Have you played Ultimate Online, Larry?
I play it all the time. I've gotten used to it. I'm
you
numb.
Be agreeing with me.
I'm numb, Ramen. I'm numb.
It's been too long, dude. He's already gone, dude.
It's too late. Like
he's already given up.
I will say this, dude. I will say this. One of the reasons why I actually had a good time with Charles with multiverses was because we were able to jump online, and for the most part, sometimes there was hiccups, but for the most part, him and I were able to play freaking doubles with freaking Superman and Velma, like on a freaking on a good net code, and that is dope as hell. Dude, we used to love. I was robbing people.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. Oh my god.
Dude, I was moving like Clark, bro. I was moving like Clark. You have no idea. You have no idea, bro.
Okay.
Did I tell you I played Sonic Fox and To Kill Stage?
No. Wait, really?
Dude, we played them in the tournament.
You and Charles?
Yeah, and dude, it's so funny because game one, me and Charles absolutely slaughtered them. Like literally, like a 30-second game. And I remember me and Charles were like this, and we're like leaning forward, right? We're playing the game, and like I literally go off. I like 0 to death Sonic Fox, go over like Duff Kill Stage, and then like the game ends, and me and Charles like we said, look at our gamer lead, and we're like, wait.
What just happened?
They're like, this is no way. There's no way.
You're like looking around. Did
We're like, dude, there's no way this could have been that easy. Like, but then they just camped us out and then we lost. But it was just so funny because we didn't even pick perks or do anything because we could not believe how ham we went, dude. But that was such a funny moment. I'll always love that moment.
Wait, for this question for multiverses. Didn't the online wasn't as bad, and then it got worse as more people were entering the servers? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, and then they like kind of did some fixes to it. And then I think the problem, honestly, that was happening with multiverses is like they started taking out some of the things that were like really, really fun, right? And because they're trying to like fine tune it and like because people were complaining. But the problem was they were listening to people who were really new to platform fighters. So they would just talk about things for their immediate experience. They don't really know why this is strong or why not. Or like if it's just something like, hey, this is like day one strong, but later down the line, this is actually not going to be that strong at all. And anyone with a brain is not going to lose to this. So there's just a lot of like, ironically, they're called player first games. And because of that, they were a little bit too player first. And so they were just listening to a lot of players and they taking too much into account. But the team has a good head on their shoulders. They kind of sat back. They recognized that, like, hey, they shouldn't have left it as an open beta. They really needed to just kind of close it down. They got the info. And so now they took the info and they're like kind of bringing it there. And they're like refining the net code even more so they won't have those issues again. But from what they're doing for their net code and from what I've just like their initial premise too, like to have that server based rollback net code, like have those servers and do all those things and supporting it, it's going to come back in a really good spot. And I mean, dude, there's freaking the Cats on their team now. Ajax is on their team. He just got recently added to their team. So shout out to Ajax, dude. But you have a good people.
All I'm gonna say is Bugs Bunny didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong.
But did he though?
He didn't do nothing wrong.
Yo, can you tell them to add shielding to the game?
That would be fantastic. That would be.
I think they're trying to do something.
Can you fucking tell them?
Oh, trust me.
That's actually why I didn't want to play the game.
That's why I don't play the game.
That's how I didn't play the game.
No, hey, trust me, dude. Trust me. I'm sure the grievances you guys had with the game were probably a lot of the things I was trying to tell them and stuff too, and other people. But they said that they've added in solutions to a lot of those things, right? Like, and so people can't just be mash all day and like be brainless, you know, and like actually there's more neutral nuance. So I've heard that it has that. I haven't played a build yet or anything like that. I don't know. I like when I do get to or anything like I did. Dude, I can't wait, dude, because I do want that game to succeed, man. I really do want that game to succeed.
I mean, this
there was the things that were good about it were very good and very fun.
Dude, they also have LeBron James.
Dude, LeBron James was good, bro. LeBron James combo game was OD.
I forgot about that.
Dude, you're getting comboed with multiple dunks, then this goes behind the back
pass. By LeBron James.
Yeah, you can get sniped by no-look pass LeBron James. That's crazy. Come on, man.
I think it would be really good for the industry as well.
Absolutely.
So even though I probably won't play the game, I'm not interested in the game. I think it would be a good overall thing if it was successful.
Right, so. and it propels the genre forward, and that, I mean, at the very least, I think we all can agree is great. So,
yeah, it'll force Nintendo to actually like care more.
Come correct.
Yeah, they gotta come correct.
No, don't come at all, dude.
Aim for the neck. Aim for the head.
Yeah,
that's what I need Nintendo to do. All right, but yeah, let's end it here. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. See you guys.
You-
I'm kind of just like I'm just stalling.